Have a beautiful day, my dear children. Today we are going to meet with another lesson. I am going to share today's lesson. Today's lesson is, you can see today beautiful lesson is lesson 11, the prince leaves home. So I am going to read this lesson for you and you also can read with me. Are you ready to read with me together? Okay, let's start to read. The prince leaves home. The king, Siddhartha's father, arranged a grand dinner and dance for the prince to celebrate the birth of Rahula. Invited were the best dancers, singers, and musicians uh, in the country. It was not just out of joy that the king arranged the celebration. He could see that the prince was depressed and that his new baby son was not giving him happiness. The king was afraid Siddhartha was planning to leave the palace for good and for the last time did his best to distract him away from his somber reflections and back to the abundance of palace life. The prince attended the party just to please his father. During the dinner, the most delicious food was served. The most enchanting, enchanting and beautiful dancing girls in the country performed. The most sensitive musicians played, and the finest puppets and magicians performed incredible feats. But Siddhartha was so tired from thinking that he soon fell asleep. When the singers and the dancers saw this, they too stopped and fell asleep. Sometime uh, later that night, the prince awoke and was shocked to see these sleeping people. What a sight! All the prettiest, most charming dancing girls, the finest singers, best musicians, and um, cleverest performers in the country who hours ago were trying to make the prince so happy were not all over the floor of the room in the most ugly, shameful, and loathsome positions. Some people were snoring like pigs with their mouths wide open, some grinding and chewing their teeth like hungry devils. This attraction mm, this alteration in their appearance made the prince ever more disgusted and unhappy. How oppressive and stifling this all is, he thought, and his mind turned again towards leaving the palace. He got up quickly from the room and he got up quietly from the room and waking Tan asked from his asked for his horse Pantaka to be saddled. As Channa was preparing his horse, Siddhartha went quietly to see his newborn son for the first time. His wife was sleeping with the baby beside her, her hand resting on the baby's head. The prince said to himself, if I try to move her hand so I can take the child for one last cuddle, I fear I will wake her and she will prevent me from going. No, I must go. But when I have found what I am looking for, I shall come back and see him and his mother again. Quietly, then Siddhartha left the palace. It was midnight, and the prince was on his white horse Kantaka with Channa, his faithful servant, holding onto its tail. Nobody stopped him as he trod away from all who knew, respected, and loved him. He took a last look at the city of Kapilavastu, sleeping so quietly in the moonlight. He was going away to learn to understand old age, sickness, and death. He rode to the bank of the river Anuma, uh, illustrious, and dismounted from his horse. He removed his jewelry and princely clothes and gave them to Channa to return to the king. Then the prince took his sword and cut his long hair, donned simple clothes, donned simple clothes, took a begging bowl, and asked Channa to go back with Kantaka. It is no use living in the palace without you, my master, said Channa very sadly. I want to follow you, but Siddhartha would not allow him to stay, al- although Channa asked 3 times. At last, Channa started to go, but Kantaka refused. The prince talked to the horse very kindly. Please, Kantaka, go with my friend. Don't wait for me. But Kantaka thought, I shall never see my master again. Tears rolled down from the horse's eyes as it kept them fixed on the prince until he turned to go away and walk out of sight. As Siddhartha disappeared over the horizon, so Kantaka's heart burst and he died of sorrow. My dear children, this is our lesson today. This is very remarkable incident. The prince leaves home. He was preparing to leave home. You know, since his childhood, now you know about his character. You learned a lot of things about his character. The prince was very strange one, strange person from other people. He was thinking very strangely. He was questioning uh, for everything about very deep uh, understanding. That was the strange thing of Prince Siddhartha. Then, with last lesson, we discussed about he saw a monk. He was so happy. He was pleased to see this monk, and he knew who is this monk, what is the purpose of this monk, and he thought to be a monk and find the truth. And same day, there was born a baby called Rahul, his son, Prince Siddhartha's son. He was so uh, unhappy with this birth because there was another attachment that was he was so unhappy. He went back to the palace, and he was uh, king arranged a grand party to keep the prince happy. There were many performances, singers, musicians, puppets, and various kind of things. There were dancing. Prince in front of the prince, they were performing everything, but prince was not so happy. So those performances, the people who were the singers and dancers, all those people who were trying to keep the prince happy, thought this prince is not happy. So why we are doing these actions, singings, dancings? We will also stop these things because Prince Siddhartha was fall asleep, felt asleep. That is why they stopped, and they also went to the sleep on the floor. They slept. Then in the midnight, Prince Siddhartha awoke, and so around him there were so many people, so many girls and women, people, and they were keeping him happy. Beautiful people, beautiful women, but now they are grinding their teeth in deep in sleeping, in a deep sleep. They were grinding, and their mouth were opening and making some noise like pig. That was the incident. He was disgusted these things, and he thought, I need to go. This is the time to leave the palace. He quietly went out from the place, and he uh, awoke the sun, and he was told to prepare ready the white horse Kantaka. And Prince went to see the baby. When he went to the room uh, of of the room, um, his wife Yasodhara and his son was on the bed. Uh, the baby was nearby him. Her. He thought, the prince thought, if I take when I take the baby to my hand to cuddle, what will happen? My wife will awake. Then I will not be able to leave the palace. So I will leave the palace, and later I will, after I find the truth, after I find the truth, how to release from all those sufferings, how to release from sickness, death, and aging. I will, sorry, I will come back, and I will teach them how to release from all these sufferings. And he went to the Kantaka, and both them uh, were ready to leave the palace. So after last time he saw the palace and the city, Kapilavastu, uh, Kapilavastu. Then after that, they went to the river Anoma, and near the he went other side from Anoma river bank, in the river Anoma bank. He get down from the horse, and gave his all jewelry and clothes, and princely clothes to Channa, and he announced to go uh, back to the palace. But three times, his friend Channa asked to stay with him, but Prince Siddhartha explained the situation. My parents will wait for me. You must go with this jewelry and my clothes, and let them know I will never come. I will come after I find the truth. You need to go now. Then Kantaka was crying, and it is said that Kantaka's heart was burst. The Kantaka couldn't bear the bear this. Siddhartha disappeared. That was the incident. This is today lesson, my dear children. Now we are going to explain some important today. Uh, you know, explanations. As explanations, you can see uh, there are some reflections. We call them Four sides, people were suffering from sicknesses, aging, death, and other mental pain. Some reflections. The king, Prince Siddhartha was suffering from sickness, not seeing the sick people, age, older people, person, and dead body. He was thinking, deeply thinking. That is what we emphasize. Some reflections. Next one is puppets. You remember in this lesson there were puppets, dancing puppets to keep the prince happy. Puppets are these things. There is a picture you can see puppets. Puppets are made by some wood, very light wood, and people, some people shake the puppets, and puppets are dancing. That's very enjoyable dancing puppets. Next one, my dear children. Next one, River Anoma. What is this River Anoma? The Anoma was a river in uh, Majjhima Desa of ancient India. According to Buddhist tradition, it was situated near Kapilavastu. It was near Kapilavastu. We already know what is Kapilavastu in India, and was crossed by Prince Siddhartha, where he renounced the world before becoming the Buddha by cutting off his hair, abandoning his royal dress, and exchanging it for the robes of an ascetic. I need to explain something. I forgot to explain. Uh, he Prince Siddhartha last when was in the bank of river Anoma, and he took his sword and hold his hair, beautiful long hair, and cut it off. And it is said that it through the air. That is the first and last time he cut his hair. It is said that in sutras, and there's no mention Buddha cut Buddha's hair after this incident. That is the explanation, my dear children. Now I am going to discuss the exercise. The prince leaves home. First one, who did this king invited to attend the dinner party? Who did the king to attend the dinner party? The royal people and other rich people, and he was invited to uh, dancers, musicians, puppets. Yeah, those are the things. What was the prince doing while the party was going on? What was the prince doing? He was doing sleeping. He was sleeping. He felt a deep sleep while party was going because he was not interested to uh, see these things. His intention was other one. Next one, what did he see when he woke up, and where did this he quietly go then? Uh, Suddenly he woke up in midnight, and he saw there were dancers, musicians, and other performance people who were uh, in deep sleep. Their their actions, sleeping action, sleeping posture was very disgusted. Some some beautiful woman before in front of him, he tried to keep him happy with beautiful songs and dances. Those beautiful women are widely open their mouth and snoring, and like pigs. Some are chewing their teeth with a sound. Those are the things. He was disgusted seeing these things. And when he woke up, and where did he quietly? go then. He went to the chamber to see the baby, newborn baby Rahul. What did he ask Channa to do? He asked Channa to do to, to ready his white horse Kantaka. Next question. After crossing the Anoma river, what did he ask Channa to do? He asked Channa to do go back to palace with his jewelry and princely clothes. What what did Kantaka do? Kantaka was crying, right? And he couldn't bear the separation of his friend, and his heart, Kantaka's heart was burst. Kantaka's heart burst. That is today lesson, my dear children. This is very, my dear children. This is very remarkable uh, lesson. This is the last time of Prince Siddhartha's stay in palace. Last day, he was thinking to leave the palace. That is why he was ready to it. You know, since his childhood, he showed up some strange qualities than other people. He was very kind, he was very compassionate, he was thinking very strange manner. He was thinking when the people were suffering, he thought he needs to find the he need to release from all these suffering of the people. How can how can I find way to release all those suffering, aging, sickness, and death? Those are the problems. Those are the issues. That is why, my dear children, he thought to leave the palace. Okay, I think that is enough today. We will meet with another lesson, my dear children. I bless you. May you be well and happy.